started my content creation. This is just setting the context briefly. I started my content creation journey one and a half years ago. It goes by the name In Harmony, and it's an education channel on Instagram. I spoke about the idea with Sir, and he was the one who's actually given me a disciplined structure. I still remember, Sir, when we went to Bandstand Pantry, you were very generous to take out time because Sir didn't know me at all, and he was still so generous to meet me for 1 hour and guide me on how I can take this next step. So that was one day, my day one, and here we are today. I'm getting the opportunity to have a fireside chat with him. So we'll get started.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so sir, my first question to you is, which qualities of content creators really stand out to you? I'll name a few creators. You feel free to add more that stand out to you. So, Bhuvan Bam.
Bhuvan, very creative. Like, I have not met anybody more creative than Bhuvan.
Ankur Wariko.
Ankur is a dedicated student. He's always ready to learn. I mean, I worked with Ankur straight for 9 months. He already was a very successful entrepreneur, 40 years of age, father of 2 children. But when he started his content journey, and I said that Ankur, there is one treaty that we have to sign with each other, that you will do what I say. And he said, I'm game. And he actually did what I said. That's a great quality to pick up from somebody who's already so successful.
Super. Tanmay Bhatt.
Tanmay again is very creative. Tanmay is a marketing genius. I mean, he knows that he's a great content creator, but with that, he also knows. And Tanmay is a guy who runs with a tribe. So he really has kept his brothers together, and you see the kind of work he does. So he's a good brother keeper, you can say,
And Ranveer Alavalia, Beer by Sense.
You want bad qualities? I can give you bad qualities. Ranveer's great quality is nothing breaks him. He is very, very mentally strong guy. And again, he's a great student. He picks up on whatever I say, whatever other mentors say. Now he does podcasts, so he gets to speak to so many people. He improves every single day. That's the great quality of him.
Super. So, sir, my second question would be, for people who are starting out, which are the 2 to 3 skills that are relevant to content creators today, but you also think that this relevance won't change in the next 10 years? So will stay relevant for the next 10 years. So they can start building that skill from now.
2-3 things will never go out of fashion, which is foundation of any work, not just content creation, is your dedication towards that job, your discipline towards that job. The moment you think that your content is going in the right direction, please move away from doing everything on your own and build a small team around you. Have innate nature of reinvesting in your content. These are some skills that will always be fundamental, will never change, no matter how much AI comes, no matter how much big you become. You are only as strong as your team is. So focus on your team building, focus on your discipline. Do not let your success get into your head. I mean, there are basic principles for everything which stands relevant for content creation also.
So how would you define a strong personal brand in this digital era? Any certain characteristics of a person that they should work on that will immediately help them create a strong personal brand?
So if you have a recall value, say you are a real estate person, which is not a very B2C, which is not very not very like when I say B2C, you only reach out to a real estate person when you want to buy a house or you want to buy any property. Otherwise, you don't reach out to them, right? But how do you think the real estate person will make a personal brand? Like, and how that person will be relevant and will interact with everyone, right? It totally depends on what kind of value you have given, right? So, if you are recognized in your sector and if you stand out, that is what kind of tells you that you have a strong personal brand. Also, one of the most important thing while you are building a personal brand if your personal brand or your brand equity on internet is not backed by the work that you have done on ground, it is going to have a major disconnect. So always have a very strong foundation on ground, then talk about it online. Otherwise, it backfires.
So students usually have this sentiment of maybe starting their own businesses or getting a job. From the time they enter a university, how do you think that them working on their personal brand will help them during placement season or when they are with their companies or when they're being shortlisted? Do you think that will help them stand out, and in what ways can they maybe understand the significance of building it so early? Because I personally started very late, I realized late, which is why I'd love for them to realize that how early and how an early start will always help them. So, how do you think an early start in personal branding at this stage will help them get a good job or help take off their startup?
I think you should all start from your first year of, be your graduation, be it post graduation, whatever. But from the first year itself, you should start focusing on your personal brand. If nothing, at least have a LinkedIn profile. We covered on this topic, in a nice way in last 2 days. Have and spend at least 4 hours in a week, right? So dedicate 4 hours in a week in which learn how to write and express yourself on LinkedIn. Join various LinkedIn groups, participate in conversations, on Twitter, and there are Twitter spaces happening. So attend those. Become a part of group conversations. Do all of these while you are studying and building your brand. Right? It helps.
Sir, can you share two examples with students of people who really built and influenced through excellent personal brand strategy? Someone they should look up to just for maybe understanding how personal brand.
I mean, see what Sandeep Maheshwari has done. See what Gary Vee has done globally. If you want to take a global example, right? All the Shark Tank entrepreneurs that you see today, they have all built their personal brand and they have made themselves so relevant that they have become poster boys of entrepreneurship, right? That's happened because of they focused on their personal brand, right? Now these are the people who we look up to, right? People who made crazy personal brand without internet. Mahatma Gandhi. We still talk about him. He will always be relevant. Subhash Chandra Bose. All these people, they had made great personal brands by being in between people. That was the time when they spent time in person, and now you can do it on the internet, right? So nothing should stop you.
And now that we were on the topic of entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs, Gujarat is a state where every household has a business mindset and every household has an entrepreneurial spirit. And we know that personal brand can only help that. So this is a little specific question to the community here for you. How do you think Gujaratis can leverage their business acumen and complement it with a good personal brand? Can Gujaratis do something different because they do have substance? They've successfully built businesses. The culture is such in every household. How can they bring it out in the open and confidently share it?
See, the thing is that what I have said, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? I have said that most Gujaratis are extrovert. You are an outlier, Dhruv. You are an introvert when I met you. Most Gujaratis are extrovert, right? They like expressing. They are great at sales. They know how to sell, right? They are great storytellers. I think if they bring their focus in kind of structuring it into with a certain calendar in place, they can really do good personal branding. And I'm seeing this happening, by the way. I see a lot of Gujarati leaders now working hard on their personal brand and building it. However, I don't think Gujaratis even need it. They know how to sell. You know.
So, on the topic of storytelling, is storytelling a skill that is underrated? And what role will it play in building a strong personal brand?
I mean, see, anything. If you really want to connect with people, story is the only medium. I think, right? The greatest stories written, I don't know, 10,000, 15,000 years ago, we don't even know how did it come to existence. There only is theory about it. Bhagavad Gita is still relevant, and we quote it, right? When we have to give any philosophical example, we lead to those kind of books. We lead to Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavad Gita, and we kind of take out lessons from there, right? For students who are from other countries here, whenever you think of a story, whenever you think of a lesson that your father, mother, your grandparents would have given, they always will bring out a story from a tribe, right? They always will bring out a story from their culture, right? So storytelling always has been relevant. I mean, if any country got their freedom, it happened because there was a strong narrative and strong story that was told, right? And that is why storytelling will always be relevant, and it is an underrated thing. I agree with you. Yeah.
So over the course of 2 days, you may have realized that students do have questions about how to improve self-confidence. They're scared of their own high expectations, one, expectations of the society, and also fear of criticism. And this is such an age, such a tender age where it can maybe seep in तो काफी साल तक रहेगा अगर अभी से establish हो गया fear है. So how can students maybe try and get over that fear of being criticized by society when they put out their thoughts online or to a wider audience?
I believe you should do it to have fun first. Do it because you want to do it. This is a generic example that I tell all content creators also, right? If you think the biggest of content creators, even they have this problem today, right? Few days ago, a content creator called me. Very successful content creators. I mean, makes 5 crore a year, you know. And they told me that they are feeling a little low about certain things that have happened in terms of trolling that is happening to them and stuff like that. And I said, what is your lookout? Why are you kind of why do you fear this, right? And they said that it's happening to them because they have put a great pressure on themselves of being of certain standard. And I said, what you've lost here is you've lost the motivation to have fun. So, and that works. So if you have fun, trolls and all will not matter, criticism will not matter. It will kind of be irrelevant.
So, sir, last couple of questions. Can you share your insights into what kind of simple process our students can follow to bring structure into this creator zone? Because content डालना है, बनाना है, पर ऐसा भी होता है काफी लोगों के साथ कि they'll put in a lot of time to make a piece of content, post it, and then again they'll take some time to post it. So, can you share that 1 month calendar?
You know one harsh truth that students should look into the mirror and tell it to themselves. Most students think they know it all. Right? Most students. I have also thought, you would have also thought. Most students, they think, मुझे तो आता है, या ये तो easy है, ये तो क्या मतलब प्रोफेसर क्या ही बताएगा, right? But the thing is that they forget that to achieve greatness, you need to put structure into things, right? And they should focus more on creating time blocking, putting time management in the place, dedicating their time. That I think college time or college period is literally a honeymoon period to be, right? You have one job to study. That's it, right? Do that one job properly and structure your time, right? Like if you give 3 to 4 hours in a week and structure it, I think that is enough. And there is a lot of course material which is out there already, right? Just invest time in watching, listening, or reading right kind of content. That will fix you.
So my last question, and I think it's the most important. What kind of moral and ethical considerations should students have when they're putting content? Certain things that they should know in terms of moral and ethical considerations.
Do not lie. Don't say things that you don't believe in. Don't say things that you are not associated with, because your lie will be caught, and once a trust is breached between online and offline audience, you will not get back. So be ethical, be very, very careful of what you are saying, always data back it, right? So that's the honest answer that I have.
Super. So with that, I think we come to an end to the Fireside Chat. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
For the meeting, during the session.